今日もお疲れ様でした。英語で国内ニュースです。優しい英語で今日の出来事をお届けします。
Prime Minister Takaichi is preparing a cabinet reshuffle and party leadership changes for mid to late September. Attention is focused on the treatment of 4 rivals from last year's party leadership election. She is expected to consider their positions carefully, while looking ahead to the next election in September next year.
Police in Kanuma Tochigi Prefecture are questioning the lookout and site supervisors after a Tobu Railway Express train struck and killed 4 workers on August 20th. Investigators are checking what happened at the scene and are considering a possible case involving professional negligence resulting in death.
A death sentence was carried out on the morning of August 21st against Sunao Takami. In 2009, Takami was convicted of murder and arson after 5 people were killed in a fire at a pachinko parlor in Osaka. The execution was the first since June last year.
Typhoon number 18 is expected to approach Okinawa and the Amami Islands around August 26th, bringing strong winds and rough weather. The Tokai region through Kyushu is likely to see temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius or higher through about August 28th. People should watch the latest typhoon information and prevent heat stroke, including at night.
As concerns continue around the Strait of Hormuz, an expert tracking ships in the area has observed vessels repeatedly crossing the strait to carry crude oil out. These vessels can be described as shuttle ships. The expert says the crude oil has also been loaded onto ships connected with Japan.
A fire broke out on the morning of August 21st aboard a ship under construction in Shimizu Ward, Shizuoka City. Fire officials say 1 worker died. At least 9 other workers were taken to hospitals after apparently inhaling smoke or suffering other effects from the fire.
The Economy, Trade, and Industry Ministry will not request funding for the Cool Japan Fund in next year's budget. The public-private fund has accumulated a deficit of more than 50 billion yen. The ministry is considering several options, including closing the fund, and plans to reach a decision by the end of this year.
A Cessna aircraft crashed in Alaska on August 20th, killing all 8 people on board, according to American media. The aircraft was carrying a pilot and passengers from Anchorage toward Cape Newenham in southwestern Alaska. It reportedly crashed near a United States Air Force radar facility close to the Cape.
More than 3,500 homes in Chiba Prefecture were flooded by heavy rain. During cleanup, floodwater mixed with sewage may dry and spread through the air as dust, creating a risk of infection. Experts advise residents to wear masks and goggles while cleaning flooded homes and other affected areas.
次は社会のニュースです。
Japan carried out its first execution under the Takaichi administration on August 21st. The executed death row inmate had been sentenced for an arson and murder case at a pachinko parlor in Osaka in 2009, where 5 people died and 10 were injured. Justice Minister Haraguchi ordered the execution after careful consideration.
A fire broke out inside a newly built tanker at a shipbuilding company in Shimizu Ward, Shizuoka City on August 21. 1 male worker was found dead inside the vessel. 9 other male workers were taken to hospitals after apparently inhaling smoke, but all were conscious. Police and firefighters are investigating the cause.
A former site chief at Takanaka Corporation may have instructed a subcontractor to inflate reported amounts. The subcontractor's representative said they felt they had no choice but to follow the instructions. The report did not give the amount involved. identify the project, or provide further details about the alleged order.
Japan's National Consumer Price Index, excluding fresh food, rose 1.8% in July from a year earlier. The increase was 0.2 percentage points higher than in June. Fresh food is excluded because its prices can change greatly with the weather. The July results show prices continued rising nationwide at a faster pace than the previous month.
Typhoon number 18 is expected to approach Okinawa's main island and the Amami Islands around August 26th. It is forecast to strengthen as it moves northwest. Rough weather may affect Okinawa. Severe late summer heat will continue nationwide, with many areas from Tokai through Kyushu reaching 35 degrees Celsius or higher. Take care to prevent heat stroke.
After 4 track workers died when they were hit by an express train at Shinkanuma Station in Tochigi, the Transport Ministry notified railway companies nationwide. It asked them to recheck safety systems for track work, including watch positions, refuge areas, and ways to tell workers when a train is approaching. In this accident, workers had not cleared the track.
The government plans to prepare a support package as early as next week after the Kumamoto earthquake. It is expected to include help for people rebuilding their lives, including support to secure housing. The package may also include a tourism campaign that pays part of lodging costs as a way to support tourism.
6 Myanmar workers aged 19 to 30 were protected by a local labor union after alleging physical abuse, verbal attacks, and sexual harassment at a farm in Kyogoku, Hokkaido. They came to Japan with a specified skilled worker status and began working between May and July. The immigration agency is reportedly investigating, and one man plans to file a criminal complaint.
11 elementary school students were stung by bees during a summer vacation school day in Shobara, Hiroshima Prefecture, on August 21st. The children, aged 6 to 11, were taken to a nearby hospital and are expected to have minor injuries. They said bees came from bushes near the school's main gate. The local education board issued a warning.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
Japan's foreign ministry says it has protested Russia's notice about missile drills. The statement was issued on August 21, 2026. It identifies the issue as Russia's missile training notice and says the ministry lodged a protest. The report provides no further details about the protest or the planned drills.
Following North Korea's ballistic missile launch on August 20th, senior officials from Japan, the United States, and South Korea held phone talks on the morning of August 21. They confirmed that the 3 countries would continue to work closely together in response to the launch. The officials represented their foreign ministries.
Following the Kumamoto earthquake, the Japanese government plans to prepare a support package as early as next week. The package will help people rebuild their lives, including support for securing homes. It may also include a tourism program called the Support Discount, under which the government would cover part of hotel and lodging costs.
Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry plans to request about 7.7 trillion yen for its fiscal 2027 budget. The request includes about 4.5 trillion yen for a new investment program covering artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and energy. The total is more than 2 trillion yen above the combined fiscal 2026 initial budget and fiscal 2025 supplementary budget.
Japan's consumer prices rose 1.8% in July from a year earlier, excluding fresh food. The index reached 102.1 and the rate of increase rose for the second straight month. Food and cleaning products became more expensive. Memory cards were especially costly, reaching 2.5 times last year's price. Food prices rose 3%.
Mitsubishi Electric says it will buy American energy management software company PCI Energy Solutions for $1.4 billion, or about 220 billion yen. It will become a wholly owned subsidiary, with the deal expected to finish in 2026. This will be Mitsubishi Electric's largest acquisition. PCI software supports power trading and is used by about 60% of U.S. power generation.
The Health, Labor, and Welfare Ministry will stop uniformly instructing companies to keep overtime within 45 hours a month from September. Labor groups are protesting, warning that overtime beyond 45 hours could spread. The head of Japan's largest labor organization said the change could encourage overtime and weaken work-hour regulations. A group of lawyers also demanded its withdrawal.
A South Korean newspaper reports that SK Hynix is moving toward building a semiconductor factory in Miyagi Prefecture. The company may invest tens of trillions of won or several trillion yen, however. An SK representative said no decision has been made. The representative added that any location with suitable infrastructure could be considered.
A former site chief at Takenaka Corporation may have instructed a subcontractor to inflate figures. The subcontractor's representative reportedly said the company had no choice but to follow the instruction. The report, dated August 21, concerns the possible instruction by the former chief and the subcontractor's account of what happened.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Hanshin Tigers pitcher Taketo Ihara apologized through the team after a weekly magazine reported an alleged assault. After hearing from people involved, the team said it could not overlook the matter. Ihara will train with the minor league team for the time being. He has 4 wins this season.
Toronto Blue Jays player Kazuma Okamoto hit a home run in the game against the Tampa Bay Rays. It was his 26th homer of the season and gave Toronto the lead. The Blue Jays played at the Rays' home stadium in St. Petersburg, Florida, and Okamoto helped his team win.
Japan national team defender Ko Itakura will return to Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany's top league. Itakura was the captain of Japan at the World Cup held in North and Central America. The club announced his return on August 20th. He previously played for the German team.
Miyu Yamashita is the solo leader after the first round of a women's golf event on the United States Tour. The tournament is being held in Edmonton, Canada. Yamashita finished the round 8 under par. Nasa Hatooka is in second place, giving Japan the top 2 positions.
The Japan Football Association will keep the current coaching staff for next year's Asian Cup. The staff supported head coach Hajime Moriyasu at the World Cup. Former Japan players Naoki Nanami and Makoto Hasebe are among the coaches who will continue. The tournament will be held in Saudi Arabia from January to February.
Astros pitcher Tatsuya Imai came out of the bullpen in the game against the Angels. He entered in the 6th inning when Houston was far behind, 14-2. Imai pitched 3 innings and allowed 2 runs. The game was played on August 20 at the Astros' home stadium in Houston.
Chicago White Sox player Munetaka Murakami started against the Atlanta Braves but went hitless in 4 at-bats. The White Sox also lost the game. Murakami is 1 home run away from reaching 30 this season, so he will have to wait for another chance to reach that mark.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
South Korea says North Korea fired about 10 short-range ballistic missiles from near Pyongyang toward the Sea of Japan at about 5 p.m. on the 20th. Japan says several missiles were launched northeast at 5:04. They likely fell outside Japan's EEZ. South Korea says they flew about 300 kilometers. U.S. and South Korean forces are analyzing them.
Russia launched a large attack on Kyiv from late on the 19th into early on the 20th, using many ballistic and cruise missiles and drones. Homes, medical facilities, and schools were damaged. Local authorities reported 15 deaths and 39 injuries in Kyiv, plus 1 death and 7 injuries in Kyiv region. Zelensky accused Russia of targeting civilian infrastructure.
The United States is moving toward what it calls its largest ever sanctions against Iran's partners. President Trump has indicated plans for major economic sanctions on countries cooperating with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said countries will be told to choose between standing with the United States and opposing it. Iran calls the measures economic terrorism.
An expert monitoring ships near the Strait of Hormuz says some vessels are making repeated crossings to transport crude oil. Their movements resemble a shuttle service. The expert also says the crude being carried out appears to be loaded onto vessels connected to Japan. This comes as instability continues around the waterway.
After a U.S. request led to a smaller U.S.-South Korea military exercise, Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, issued a statement. She said the United States and South Korea have a master and servant relationship. Her remarks may also suggest a possibility of dialogue with the United States.
Russia's Pacific Fleet says it conducted missile launch drills around the northern territories. Russian media said the exercise may have followed President Vladimir Putin's visit to Iturup Island on August 13th. A warship and a nuclear submarine launched anti-ship and cruise missiles. Russia said every target more than 300 kilometers away was hit.
A Chinese court has given Xu Jiayin, founder of the failed property giant Evergrande, a life sentence in a first trial for illegal fundraising and other crimes. The court also ordered fines for Evergrande and Evergrande Real Estate. It said Xu and the company's inflated assets, hid debt, and obtained improper loans through bribery. Appeals are possible.
A Hong Kong court found former Tiananmen Memorial Group leaders Li Shuqian and Chao Hengtung guilty under the national security law. The group, which dissolved in 2021, had held memorial events for the 1989 Tiananmen crackdown. The organization was also convicted. Sentences will come later. Prosecutors said its call to end one-party rule was illegal.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
A Vermeer exhibition opened in Osaka on the 21st. It features works by Johannes Vermeer, the leading Dutch painter of the 17th century, including Girl with a Pearl Earring. A long line formed before the museum opened. Visitors said the painting looked smaller than expected, but its beauty drew them in.
A national organization supporting people with intellectual disabilities and their families has raised concerns about the anime adaptation of Michan and Yamada-san. It said the adaptation could increase prejudice and misunderstanding. The organization does not oppose the anime in every case, but requested clear explanations about expert advice and age ratings.
In the Oi Shogi title match, Takumi Ito defeated title holder Soda Fuji. The result brings their overall match record to 2 wins each. The fourth game was played on August 19th. The close competition between the two players will continue with the score tied at 2 games apiece.
Singer-songwriter Fuji Kaze has canceled his Bangkok concert, which was scheduled for December 26th. The official announcement said the cancellation was due to unexpected circumstances. The concert was part of his world tour. Ticket payments will be refunded automatically, so ticket buyers do not need to take any action.
The travel magazine Hokkaido Jalan and the book series Traveling Around Hokkaido with Jalan will stop publication after the March 2027 issue. This will end more than 35 years of magazine and book sales using the Jalan name. Travel information will continue through the Jalan News website and official social media accounts.
Part of an arrow was found in a sunken ship at an underwater site in Matsuura, Nagasaki. The ship sank during the Mongol invasion of Japan in 1281. The arrow appears to have come from the southern Song and may have been reused by the Mongols. The fragment is about 3 centimeters long.
Big Bang has started its 20th anniversary world tour in Goyang, South Korea. The group is also performing Big, its first new song in 4 years. The tour is planned to include 33 shows in 19 cities around the world. In Japan, concerts will be held in Osaka, Aichi, Tokyo, and Fukuoka.
Akina Nakamori will hold a dinner show in 5 cities with 15 performances starting November 30th. The shows will be held in Kanagawa, Aichi, Osaka, Fukuoka, and Tokyo. This is a major expansion from last year's 2 cities and 8 performances. The Christmas shows will take place at Tokyo Dome Hotel.
Rap group Ketsumeshi will hold outdoor stadium concerts on April 17th and 18th next year at Ajinomoto Stadium in Tokyo. The shows will be their first stadium performances in about 11 years, with 100,000 people expected over 2 days. The set list will be based on song requests from fans.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。